Shalom, 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 shalom. Barakatah to the Father of lights, peace and blessings to the big brother and son of the kingdom, Yahweh Shai. All praises due, peace and power to the throne of David. I want to give y'all what the Most High revealed to me as far as what's happening now, these curses. The curses are still in effect as far as Jacob's trouble. But those who are in this truth, those of you who are part of this body and in this truth, you will be exempt from the final phase of these curses, which are to come. You know, when I first came into this truth, they talked a lot about, I heard a lot of the camps teaching on the curses of Deuteronomy, you know. But, you know what the Most High revealed to me? All those curses haven't been fulfilled, man. All right. All of those curses haven't been fulfilled. There's still curses in Deuteronomy that have to come to pass. The Most High's word has to come to pass. Everything he says has to happen. It's important that we understand that. All right. So before I get started, I want to show y'all a book. You should get it. It's called The 12 Books of the Apocalypse. All right. It includes the Apocalypse of Peter, Abraham, Elijah, Paul, Adam, 1 James, 2 James, the Apocalypse of Thomas, the Apocryphon of John, all right, Coptic Peter, and then Baruch, and something called Thunder, the Perfect Mind. This is the book right here, all right, see it? 12 Books of the Apocalypse. I'm going to be getting into that pretty soon, but I wanted to get that title of the book to you. Also, before I get started, except for Avigdora and one more person, all your certs were mailed out yesterday, so you should be getting them. Aqua Crumble, I'll be putting yours in hopefully tomorrow, and then it should be ready sometime next week. Okay, so I want to get all of y'all up to speed on that. Yeah, all of the curses have not even happened. You know, he's saving the worst, all right, the worst of the curses for Jacob's trouble, and I'm going to prove it. I'm also going to prove again, you know, I see people on TikTok and YouTube still calling this white man Esau. Y'all so lost, man. I'm going to prove that to you again today, and I'm going to do that for free, all right? I'm going to do that for free. No charge. I'm going to show y'all once and for all right, that this white man is Japheth. He is not Esau. Okay? If you notice in the scriptures, man, Japheth is never mentioned. Only in the beginning. The only one that these dudes teach on is who? Jacob and Esau. Or Mau, which is Moab. Or Ammon, you know, or I don't know, some of the other well-known ones, Issachar, Ephraim, like that. But they never talk about Japheth, you know that? Or they talk about Ham, you know, the Hamites. But they never talk about Japheth. You know why? They removed all of the texts that had to do with them being the oppressor. You can read it, but when you read the scriptures, it never mentions Japheth by name. It says who he is. Well, you got to dig for that. See? This white man that told on himself, man. I'm going to prove to you that he is wicked as Japheth. Once and for all. So what I want to do, let's go to Daniel chapter 11 first. Daniel chapter 11. All right. Daniel chapter 11. We're going to skip down to all right. We'll just start at 27 for good measure. Daniel 11 and 27. And both these kings' hearts shall be to do mischief, and they shall speak lies at one table, but it shall not prosper. For yet the end shall be at the time appointed. Then shall he return into his land with great riches, and his heart shall be against the holy covenant. And he shall do exploits and return to his own land. So I believe this passage is talking about Ptolemy. After Alexander the Great died, he was a homosexual. He had no children. So he left all of his land between his 4 generals to split. Cassander, Lysimachus, Ptolemy, and Seleucus, right? So this is who it's talking about. And it says, at the time appointed, he shall return and come toward the south. But it shall not be as the former or as the latter. Well, why is that? Look at verse 30. For the ships of Chittim shall come against him. Therefore he shall be grieved and return and have indignation against the holy covenant. So that's Ptolemy, right? But it says the ships of Chittim. We're going to get into that. So shall he do. He shall even return and have intelligence with them that forsake the holy covenant. So if you go to 1 Maccabees, that's talking about the Assyrian captivity in which the northern kingdom was under Ptolemy, which was one of Alexander the Great's generals, right? Now, what I want to zero in on was the ships of Chittim, right? The ships of Chittim. Now let's look at that. You look at the word Chittim. The Hebrew word is Chittim. All right. You know what Chittim means? It means bruisers. See it? Bruisers. Now I'm gonna read the definition. A general term for all islanders of the Mediterranean Sea. That's one. Number 2, B, right here. See right there? The descendants of Japheth, all right? The son of Japheth and grandson of Noah. Now, if you look at the Strong's definition, see it right there? If you go to the interlinear, all you gotta do is go there. That's what it says. Chittim. Patrio, from an unused name denoting Cyprus. A Kittite or Cypriot. Hence, an islander in general. So it was an island that Japheth stayed on. Okay? Now, what race of people did he bring out? Look here. The Greeks. See it? Over here. Greeks or Romans, right? The Greeks or Romans on the shores opposite of Palestine. See there? Look where it says. Chittim. Now, that's past. All right? That's past Israel. That's at the edge of the earth. They are past all of that. That's where they come from. Okay? Y'all following me? Now, it said the Romans or the Greeks. What pigment do the Romans and the Greeks have? They white boys, right? They're white boys that speak Latin, correct? Got it? Got it? All right. This is where Forrest Gump, y'all, come on. Y'all knew I was finna throw his white, pale, pink ass in here. You're not Benjamin, Forrest Gump. You're not Benjamin. You can think that all you want. You are a funky ass, wet chicken smelling ass white man. That's what you are. And you're from Chittim. Those are your people. Okay? You're Germanic. Right? You're Germanic. All right? Let's go to, hold on. Let's go to Genesis 9. And 27. It's the only time it really mentioned Japheth. Genesis 9 and 27. And power shall enlarge Japheth, and he shall dwell in the tents of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant. Japheth. Okay? So the Japhethites' border is going to be enlarged. That means they're going to always be somewhere that don't belong to them, and they believe in taking up residence in somebody else's house. That is not prophesied for Esau. Now let's go to Deuteronomy 28. All right? I'm going to read y'all something. Now that we know who the white man is, all right? You know Greeks and Romans, they was white boys, all right? They was white boys, ain't no getting around that. Ain't no getting around that. Ain't no getting around that. Forrest Gump, you are not a Benjamite. You are a funky ass white man. Okay? So what? You must, you know what it is? You must be doing that shit these stupid ass kids do now that they male and want to be female and female and want to be male. They identify. So you identify as Benjamin. You ain't Benjamin though. No longer than a damn man wearing lipstick, all right, and a weave with a ding-a-ling call herself a woman. You're delusional, all right? You're not Esau. You're a Japhethite, period. Scripture confirms it, proved it once again. Now, let's go and prove it in Deuteronomy 28. Let's start at Deuteronomy 28. Start at verse 32. These are part of the curses I told you, right? Well, listen to verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people. It don't say Japheth, right? It don't say Japheth, but I'm going to prove to you it is. And thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thy hand. Now that happened during slavery. Shit happened to me in this life. Took my son from me. Fucking CPS. Fucking bitches, right? Took my son and wasn't nothing I could do about it. All right? So, we're going to come back here. Let's go to Joel chapter 3. Verse 6. Now, what does it say? The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians, that ye might remove them far from their border. They took us out of Israel, they took us out of the east, and brought us here to the west, and sold us to this funky ass white man. All right? So, who did he say? The Grecians, right? They sold us to the Grecians. All right? So, let's look at who the Grecians are. Look what it says. Right here. Strong's definition, right? See what it says? right there, Grecian. It says patronymically from H3121, a Javanite or a descendant of Javan, a Grecian. See it? A descendant of Javan. Right here, right? Javan. Who is Javan? That was the grandson of Noah. From who? From Japheth. So, who are the Japhites? The Grecians, the Greeks, the Romans, the white boys, the ones that's over here, like Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, Forrest Gump, aka J. Denija. Since you want to get somebody get your stupid ass name right. All right. So you are a Grecian. You are a Grecian. You are, all right, which everybody can see clearly, a funky ass white man. Your descendants are Japheth. Now you can identify as Benjamin all you want, okay? Now let's go back to Deuteronomy 28. All these camps don't know what the fuck they talking about, man. All right? He saw the white man, he saw the white man, he saw the white man. No, he is not. Let me prove it to you. Deuteronomy 28, verse 32. Let's go on back down there. All right? Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people. Well, I just showed you who. To the Grecians. That's the other people. And thy eyes shall look and fare with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in their hands. The fruit of thy land and all thy labor shall a nation which you knowest not eat up, and thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed always. It said it's going to be a nation that we know not. Do we know who Esau is? That's our brother. So it can't be him. Right here. I ain't pulling this out of my ass. A nation which thou knowest not. All right? Eat up. Which thou knowest not. Eat up. And thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed always. Ain't this fucking white man oppressed and crushed us always to this very day? Yes, he has. That's what he does. Okay? The Lord shall smite thee in the knees and in the legs with a sore botch that cannot be healed, from the sole of thy foot unto the top of thy head. The Lord shall bring thee and thy king. Listen to this. This is another nugget. The scripture is clear. Right here in verse 36, it predicts there's going to be a king in the land, right? The Lord shall bring thee and thy king, which thou shalt set over thee, unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, and there shalt thou serve other gods, wood and stone. Well, who's the king it's talking about? He said there was going to be a king at the land when he starts releasing these plagues right here in the scriptures, all right? Verse 37, and thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations whither the Lord shall lead thee. Thou shalt carry much seed out into the field, and shalt gather but little in, for the locust shall consume it. Thou shalt plant vineyards and dress them, but shalt neither drink of the wine nor gather the grapes, for the worms shall eat them. Thou shalt have olive trees throughout the coast, but thou shalt not anoint thyself with the oil, for thy olive shall cast its fruit. Thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but you shall not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity. All thy trees and fruit of thy land shall the locust consume. The stranger that is within thee shall get above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. This is why black businesses fail, because all of these other nations have gotten above us. They charge these black business owners double the taxes and everything, so that they got to charge us higher prices to get us the service and goods that we want to get from them. He's keeping us from supporting each other so that we can't rise up. That's what it is. But Mau Mau, Ham and all of them, what do? They get business breaks. They get grants, not loans, grants that they don't have to pay back. They can write off 2 years or 3 years of loss for their taxes and don't have to pay it. They give them every opportunity to get above us in our neighborhoods. That's why you got Mama running Louisiana Fried Chicken. That's why you got Mama running the nail shops. You got Abdul running the liquor stores and everything. All of these have taken place because of what the scripture said, right? Now, let's keep going. Verse 44. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be thy head, and you will be the tail. Are we not the tail? Now, that's come to pass. We on the ass end of everything, including the drug game. We can't even make our own drugs. We got to get a plug for that. You know, you got to go to Pablo and Julio, all right, which is Northern Kingdom, the covenant breakers. You got to go to them to get a plug, all right? When is the last drug kingpin that you saw that was self-sufficient, that was black? Frank Lucas wasn't, he got his shit from Vietnam over there, all right? He ain't got no fields. He ain't got no poppy fields. He ain't got no fields with coca leaves, all right? Like Julio, all right? So, we are in service to everybody. We got to go to the banks to get grants, all right? Or loans that we got to pay back at high interest rates, okay? That's what he did to us. That's the curses. Look what it says. 45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and a wonder, and upon thy seed forever, meaning until the Most High stops it, okay? Because you serve not the Lord thy power with joyfulness and with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things. Therefore shall you serve your enemies, listen, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. Now, he said he's going to send an enemy against us. And they're going to make us hungry, thirsty, naked, and in want of all things. And they're going to put a yoke of iron on our neck. They did that, all right, until we were destroyed. Well, we were destroyed when the irons came off because they didn't need them no more. They knew they had our mind. They used the irons to break our will and our mind and our way of life, and that's what they did, all right? Verse 49. The Lord shall bring a nation, listen, against thee from afar, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue you shall not understand. Well, who is that? That's Japheth. Esau speaks Aramaic. We understand him. He said it's going to be a nation that we don't know and that we don't speak their language. The English language is probably the most complicated language to learn because of the number of alphabets and the use of words, you know. The use of words have dual meanings in the alphabet, in the American language. And you got to study it. If you grew up here, is one thing, all right? But if you're an outsider, it's very difficult to learn the American language. Let's take the word wood. You got wood. Would you go to the store? Wood, W-O-O-D, all right? You got two different versions of it. You know, which one do you use? That's just one word out of many that I can name where it would confuse the shit out of somebody that hasn't learned English, all right? Look at verse 50. A nation of fierce countenance which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young. Ain't that the white man? He don't give a fuck. And he shall eat the fruit of your cattle and the fruit of your land until you be destroyed. That's what he did to the Northern Kingdom. That's what they did to, what is that, Black Wall Street, right? Until thou be destroyed, which also shall not leave thee either corn, wine, or oil, or the increase of thy kind, or the flocks of thy sheep, until he have destroyed thee. And he shall besiege you in all your gates, until thy high and fenced walls come down, wherein thou trustest, and throughout all thy land. And he shall besiege thee in all thy gates throughout the land, which the Lord thy God hath given thee. Now that's talking about here. Where do they put us? In ghettos, right? And thou shalt eat the fruit of thy own body, the flesh of thy sons and of thy daughters, which the Lord thy power hath given thee, in the siege and in the straitness wherewith thine enemies shall distress thee. That's what's getting ready to happen now. Jacob's trouble is going to happen when, all right, they institute this mark. You can't buy or sell. They're going to put people in these 15-minute cities, and they're going to stress the shit out of them and oppress them that much more. Look at verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil toward his brother, and toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children which he shall leave. Now we got that already. So that he will not give to any of them the flesh of his children whom he shall eat, because he had nothing left him in the siege and in straitness wherewith thy enemies shall distress thee in thy gates. It's going to get so bad that Southern Kingdom is going to be eating their own kids, man. All right? Look at the women. The tender and delicate women among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, her eyes shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and toward her daughter. We already there on that one. And toward the young man, the young one that cometh out from between her feet, and toward her children which she shall bear, for she shall eat them for want of all things secretly in the siege and straitness wherewith thy enemy shall distress thee in thy gates. So that's a promise, and that promise has not come to pass yet. See, the siege is going to come when this society and this way of life here collapses, right? That's when it's going to go down. So we haven't seen it yet. Let's go to Psalms 91. Show you what I mean. Psalm 91 and 5. Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness. That walketh in darkness. All right. So how can a pestilence walk? That means that you got infected. People that are infected. All right. Nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. Only with thy eyes shall you behold and see the reward of the wicked. We're going to see his reward. We're going to see the reward for this white man and all of those that followed him. All of the ones that part of this beast system that wanted to be a part of it. We're going to see what their reward is, man. I'm thinking some Walking Dead type shit. When they said a pestilence walking, that's what I come up with. A walking pestilence is somebody that's heavily infected and all fucked up. Okay? So, I wanted to break down today who Japheth really. I always said the white man ain't Esau, but I want to label him his proper name today so that y'all forever know who he is. Don't make no never mind that he's in England. Don't make no never mind that he's here in the United States. You know, he's everywhere. Why? Because the Bible said in Genesis 9 and 27 that the Most High was going to enlarge his border. That means he's going to be everywhere, and he is. The United States got over 800 embassies worldwide. But all this shit is finna go down though, y'all. Okay? Japheth has been exposed today. All right? Like I say, Forrest Gump, you can dream that you Jeremiah all you want. I just showed you in scripture. Let's see you discount that. Let's see you discount that. All right? Line upon line, precept upon precept. Okay? So, I nailed your funky ass to the panel. You are a Japhite. You can fight it all you want. All right? But that fist gonna still punch you right in your fucking seagull shaped hooked ass nose and them beady eyes. Gonna be out, bow, right? So take that, all right? So I hope y'all was edified today. Like I said, if you can get that book that I showed y'all early on, and I'm gonna get ready to crank out another video. Giving all praises and barakatah to the Father of lights, peace and blessings to you, Yahweh Shai, the Son and big brother to the kingdom. Peace and power to the throne of King David. We on the move, y'all. See y'all on the next go round. KD out. Shalom.